What's up, people? Welcome to the GSC podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Lauji, joined this week, as always, by Jamie C.
Hello.
Jenny.
Hello.
And Johnny.
Hi.
We've got the whole cast back. Yay!
Hooray!
I love it when we're all together, man. It feels good.
Me too.
How are you guys?
Yeah.
And
Cold today. Very cold today.
Feeling it. Like the autumnal winter period, that whole thing combined into one. Basically
like
mushy leaves and cold weather, all of that.
Ugh.
But everybody's talking about Christmas already, so that's...
Yeah.
I'm fat.
No.
The thing is, right, I'm fat, so this in this kind of weather, I'm at the temperature that I imagine normal people are the rest of the year round, so it's fine by me.
And Christmas is coming, so there's more food.
Yeah, that's it, man. I'm still kind of on a high, man, from what I've been up to, but I'll start with you guys.
You go first.
Do you want me to go first? I'll go first.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Go on.
I never
Break
go
You've actually
first.
done something. You have something to talk about.
Yeah.
Wow. This is a start.
I know, right? I went to the Distant Worlds concert at the London Albert Hall, man. To see
What?
Final
You went
Fantasy music performed by the London Philharmonic Orchestra. And it was fucking amazing.
Really?
Absolutely amazing, yeah. I was going in thinking that, you know, they're going to play a lot of stuff from Final Fantasy VII because that's the popular one and stuff. And then when we got in there, they were like, oh, you know, it's the 20th anniversary of Final Fantasy VI. And I was like, yes! And it was predominantly Final Fantasy VI, man. There was obviously other songs thrown in, but it was absolutely fantastic, man. Really good. Nobuo Uematsu, he came out like to play something, but it was literally just like two chords on one of the tracks from Final Fantasy VI on a like keyboard, and like
Right.
we legit thought it was a joke at first because he literally came out and it was like bam, 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 bam. That was all he was doing on the keyboard, and we
Yeah.
thought, okay, he's gonna break into a solo or something in a minute, but nope, he just did that the entire way through.
Oh, amazing.
Oh no, it was an absolutely fantastic night though. I'd never been to the Albert Hall before. It's a pretty awesome venue. There was some pretty cool cosplay going on.
Wow.
Yeah, like the best cosplay that I saw that night were two girls. One was Sephiroth
Giddy.
and one was Freya from Final Fantasy IX, and their costumes were absolutely amazing.
Really?
There was some absolutely terrible cosplay as well though. There was this one guy. There was this one fat guy cosplaying as Cloud. Yeah, like
Damn it,
he walked past us, right, and then like my friend Tom turned to me and he was like, "Lauchi, did you fart?" I was like, "No, man, it's that fucking Cloud." Like the entire corridor just fucking stank because of this one guy, man. It was gross.
That is gross.
If you're listening,
Gross.
if you were that Cloud, for fuck's sake, man, there was thousands of people there. At least have a shower. God damn it.
Ah. What was your favourite
There's
tune
something
they
so
played?
fancy. This is what I was going to say to you. Was there no sort of like dress code or anything for it?
No, because loads of people cosplaying, man. There was tons of cosplay there. Like we just went sort of smart casual type thing.
Yeah, but that's it. Something so fancy. At least put a shirt on or cosplay, I suppose, for that. But god damn it.
Ah, the merch, man, the merch. So
Match?
there was the merch stand was there, and it had like all the soundtracks and stuff in there in like special collector's editions. I bought the Final Fantasy VI soundtrack because it looked amazing. I don't think I'll ever open it though. That's the problem. Like I have it, it's sealed, and I'm just like, you look so nice. I don't want to open you ever.
Well, in fairness, you could probably get it online, or I've never tried this. I don't think I want to, but I'm sure you may be able to get it off your PS1 disc.
True,
the
but
soundtrack.
this is like an orchestral version, like an orchestral arrangement of the soundtrack.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I bought a oh shit, what are they called? The things that you get when you go to a program. There you go. I bought a program.
Yeah.
The fucking program was £15. £15. It's like
Whoa.
9 pages.
Oh.
9 pages.
fancy,
It was £15.
Oh my god.
I feel like I had to buy it because, you know,
Not even £1 a page.
I know. But no, it was a great night. And other than that, though, I mentioned it last week in the last podcast when you guys were talking about good games that were coming up. And I was like, oh, we're not just counting out the Vita and Freedom Wars. I bought Freedom Wars. That game is amazing. Really, really good. I guess I'm only going to be talking to Johnny here because I don't. You two haven't played God Eater, have you?
No.
What?
So this
I have.
game,
I don't play God.
Johnny, imagine God Eater crossed with like Attack on Titan.
Really?
That is pretty much what like Freedom Wars is, man. You've got this grappling hook that you can like fire up to buildings and then fire down at enemies and pull yourself into them and stuff.
Wow.
It's proper cool, man. It's probably the best Monster Hunter style game I've ever played. I rate it
Well,
higher
that's
than God Eater so far, man.
Wow, that's stunning.
The best part about that game as well is it's not even the gameplay. It's like the setting. It's like a dystopian world where societies are all based on how productive you are. So if you have a skill and you're like a productive person, then you can be a citizen and like you have rights and stuff. If you're unproductive, then you're branded as a sinner and like sentenced to literally 1,000,000 years in jail. And the only way to earn your freedom is to like do jobs for the government and stuff.
I see.
It's properly good, man. Really, really good game. Definitely recommend it.
All right, I'll pick it up.
That is me, man. That is what I've been up to.
Sometimes.
Johnny, you weren't here last week, so you can go next.
Hooray! Samurai Warriors 4 finally came.
Have you been playing it, Johnny?
Yes.
How far
It's
are you?
amazing. I've completed 2 of the branches. I can't remember which ones now, but me and Jose were going through it, like 2-player. Like
Awesome.
I was playing on my Vita. You know, you can do the remote link thing.
Yeah.
And he was playing on the control pad. So yeah, we were just playing split screen. It's so much fun. Really, really enjoying it. And it's so flashy as well. And the graphics are great, I thought.
Yeah, dude, I'm right there with you, man. I've been playing the crap out of that game as well. I've been playing a little bit of that this week, but I spoke about it last week, so I don't want to mention it again. But I'm addicted to Conquest mode, man.
Oh, Conquest, yeah.
Just slowly conquering Japan.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm just going through like leveling everyone up and trying to get like rare weapons and stuff. But yeah, absolutely loving that. I'm afraid to say I think that's all I've been playing really.
No, what do you make of Spelunky?
Oh my god, I am in love with Spelunky.
Are you?
I spent like the whole night on that.
Okay, this is what's interesting to me then, because I played a bit but didn't bring it up in a previous podcast because I wanted to see if we could get some bloody 4-player at some time on that one.
Oh yes.
Definitely. It's a 4-player online game, yeah.
Am I missing something from playing it? Because you sort of like, you're sort of going around, and I have no idea if there's like a trick to where you drop the bombs to find stuff, or is it just like random stuff just appears if you blow it up?
It's like generated maps, isn't it? Every time it's all different.
The aim of the game is to get as much gold as you can, and then like make it out, and then just like try and get deeper into the cave to the end, right?
But it's solid, so 4-player might ease it up a bit.
So difficult. Yeah, that'd be amazing. I'd love that game.
Definitely try it.
I've never played it before, so I'd be down if you guys wanted to do some 4-player.
We'll grab it now, quick, before it comes off the PlayStation Plus. Definitely.
Yes.
Yeah. Although I got past like the first bit, and I gave the guy the bomb to open up a shortcut. Then the shortcut never opened, so it's like what?
You got done.
So I turned it off. I got really upset about that because it took me ages to get to that bit.
Johnny, did you when playing Pokemon, did you also pay 500 credits for a Swell Magikarp?
Anyway. Anyway, yeah, that's me done. That's all I did.
Awesome. Danny, what have you been up to, dude?
Oh, that's good.
A lot of touche, Johnny. A lot of FIFA Rage. Been playing a lot of online FIFA with Jamie and Nick, not Nick, and Scott. I'll get your name right one day, Scott. Can we talk about it? Can we talk about FIFA?
Yeah, I think we should.
If you want to rage again, yeah, go on.
One thing I want to clarify, right? Did your internet actually go out the other night? Like, did you disconnect? Because all I heard was you raging hard, and then you disappeared from the party. You were gone.
That did happen. Yep. You didn't even come back on or text us to say sorry, I'm going to bed or anything. You just fucked off.
Oh yeah. No. I remember. Yes. What happened was, I didn't rage quit. It just dropped. I was, and it just so happened. I think I was playing shit or something. I can't remember what happened, but I remember
Sounds like a rage quit.
it sounded. That thought came to mind afterwards. 'Cause I was so angry I didn't even realise because
Rage quit.
it booted me out, and I was like, ah. Oh god, yeah. I have a problem. I have an anger problem on FIFA. It's not a good trait.
However, we are on the up.
Right.
We're scoring a few more goals.
Yeah, our pros are getting better, but there are some fundamental issues with the game. And I'm not calling it lag, but there's definitely a response issue with the game. So when you're playing offline, you have almost, I don't want to call it one-to-one response time because people go up in arms, but it's pretty simultaneous. Whereas online, there's enough of a delay for it to, I don't want to say game breaker, but it's a game changer. And so you have to readapt. Jay, what were we talking about yesterday that we both found like there seems to be a bit of inconsistency between fouls. It's quite weird, and I think people have learned how to exploit it as well, which is really frustrating. I don't know how really I can criticize the game without making it just sound like I'm sore from being shit.
To be fair, though, this is probably the first time we've ever done this, but we've played pretty much every night since last week's podcast, haven't we? We've had a few games every night, or most nights, and so we're seeing more and more of what's going on. And just to echo your problems there, but also on top, just some of the AI which they've boasted about this year,
yeah.
just still so not there at all, is it?
Yeah, me and Scott was playing the other day, and our goalkeeper punched the ball up in the air, and it landed in the back of our own net. It went about 30 yards up in the air, then landed and bounced in, and we just sort of sat there and what? There was also yesterday. I mean, for once it was in our favour. Most of the time it's our goalkeeper who's like a 3-foot baby. Yeah, the goalkeeper really just sort of punched the ball into his own net again when he really should have done better. There's a lot of times as well where when you bring him out, he won't kick the ball. He'll just try start dribbling with it, and it makes no sense. So, and I was saying there's this you sort of play with fear because when you bring the goalkeeper out, you have to press square to get for him to like hoof it or pass it or something. The most common thing you do is hoof it, but you don't want to do that because your pro will slide. Now, if there's another, so you could give away a foul or get booked or something. So they've really got to sort something out there, but it's been a problem which they just haven't addressed. And I've just remembered the one other thing. It was a small thing, but we were playing yesterday, and I was always offside. And Jay reminded me that they used to have a system where it would tell you when you're offside, and a little flag would come up at the top, and it would disappear when you came back onside. Now it sounds like a small, ridiculous thing, but they took it out, and it's actually quite difficult to play. So I don't know why they took it out, but it definitely used to be a thing. So yeah, it's not. I'm just surprised about with all these reviews. You don't read many bad reviews or any bad reviews about FIFA. Because the graphics are there, yeah, fine. It plays well, but it's not. As Jamie said, the AI is very patchy and a bit. I get frustrated because it feels like you have to spoon feed. You have to tell them everything, like even when to run, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. It doesn't help the flow of the game. So I'm just a bit shocked that no reviewers that I've read have actually picked up on this.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's FIFA. Apart from that, I played a lot of Danganronpa because I'm just trying to mop up some of the trophies now. Although I stupidly forgot to save and lost about 5 hours worth for work, so I have to redo all that.
I freaking hate it when that happens. The amount of games where like that's happened and then I've lost like 4+ hours of gameplay. And then just said, you know what, fuck it, I'm not playing this anymore. Like, I'm not doing that all over again.
Yeah. And I pretty much...
You don't save it, you deserve that.
Well, yeah. Partly true, but the Vita's a bit different because you can put it into sleep mode and stuff. And I just, over the course of a week, I guess I thought, oh, that's it. I was on the save screen, but I must have fallen asleep. And when I woke up, I thought it was saved, and I had to do an update. But yeah, no, I understand your frustration, Ben, because it's quite annoying. There's nothing you can do about it, and you've just wasted. It's like back, I don't know. It's like we're back in the day when you get all the way to the end or something, and then you die, like, cheaply, and you're just like, shit. Now I've got to redo all that. I'm not doing that again.
I play Mario all the time.
Mm. No, but Mario, I stopped short of saying Mario because I always went back and played it again, including lost levels.
I like it.
What else have I been up to? Child of Light. I have to admit, I'm struggling to get into the game. I love the art style again, and the way they build up all the conversations, they all rhyme or whatever. But I don't know. I guess it's one of those games I've put down, and I'm struggling to get back into it. Did anyone else have that problem?
I haven't played it at all.
I haven't played it with that, but I'm having that problem right now with The Evil Within.
Really?
Yeah, it's sat there. It's sat in front. I can see it from here. I'm like thinking, am I ever going to play you again? Like, I'm not sure.
Looks good. Looks about ready for a trade-in, doesn't it, Ben?
I'm not going to lie. I mean, it's crossing my mind when I'm looking at the case. I don't know whether I'm ever going to play it again.
See, this is why, like,
I can't trade in my Watch Dogs, Johnny. You've got my Watch Dogs.
Come and get it, big boy.
So you take the piss out of me for writing lists, but it's for this reason, because then I can keep on top of what I've started and cross them off, and, you know, I don't like to start 2 or 3 games at once. I can only play 1 game at a time.
How long have we known that? Because this is news to me.
It's not news to me or Johnny. We've known this for ages.
Yeah.
There's actually a scribbled piece of paper in my controller drawer. So I go back in there and I'm like, what am I playing at the moment again? Because I haven't been on a video game for a week. Here we go. This one, cross it off. I've done it. And this is why, I just get to a point and I look at the list again and I go, I'm never going to play that. Fuck off. I get really angry. I don't ever get to play games, and I start crossing them all off.
Dude, this is what Jamie does. Why do you think Jamie does the running order every week? Because he's fucking good at this kind of stuff, man.
Because I'm a controlling asshole. That's what it is.
Oh, no way. I've done that with trophies and stuff, with achievements back in the day. But not.
That's bad.
You're not in no position to judge.
Wait, I am 2 trophies away from platinum in FIFA. So if you know,
whoa,
yeah,
I'm your trophy wife. So
yeah.
What have you been doing then, Jamie?
Yeah,
oh, is that Danny done? All right, that's nice.
Danny's done.
Danny, what you done?
I think so.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Bloody manners. That was bad. Do you want to know what I've been doing? Oh,
No.
Yeah.
All right. So couple of things. First of all, I'm just going to put it out there. I have access to the Evolve Alpha. But obviously, the big topic this week we'll get onto in a minute covers why I've not been able to play that. So I'll come back to that one. Otherwise, I've been playing a lot of Battle Islands. If you don't know what that is, it's basically Clash of Clans, which Ben was talking about last week. But it's for the PS4. And it's a 505 Games Studio one. And it's army instead of Vikings and stuff. Okay. So you just log in, do a little bit, go back away while it carries on playing in the background, and then you keep coming back to it. I've just been quite hooked. On the PS4, you can see what people have been doing, and it might say on mine Janny played Drive Club 2 times or something, but on mine it's Jamie played Battle Islands 10 times because you just log in, you go away for a few hours, you come back, have another go.
Is it
microtransactions?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
There will be
same model.
There will be microtransactions soon. They're currently unavailable, and I think it's just to give everyone a level playing field for the first, say, week of release. So I think that's what they're doing, or they've had server issues and they can't connect the transactions yet. But it's gonna work on microtransactions to buy gold bars as well.
Gold
which
bars,
is
I'm
fine,
assuming, serve the same purpose as the gems in Clash of Clans, yeah?
Exactly the same. You would build stuff and then you can speed up the process and have it instantly built by using gold bars. And so it's just the same model. It's just army instead of Vikings. And in all honesty, Vikings probably suits my style a bit more. I'd rather play that, but it's on the PS4. It does its job. I'm really enjoying it. And it is just something you just pick up, play for 10 minutes just to update what you're doing and then go back to it later.
It'll be interesting to see what the legs are on that, because I'm still playing Clash of Clans, but like I'm gonna say playing with air quotes because all I do is open my phone once a day, harvest my gold reserves that I've got, and then set a couple of things to build, and then close my phone, and that's me done playing Clash of Clans for the day.
But I mean, that's
check it tomorrow.
It's the same at the moment with me in Battle Islands, but eventually I'm going to feel confident enough to go attack other players' islands.
Yeah.
And like I'm worried because now I'm exposed. People could start doing that to me. I've not had that yet, so I don't know what the long-term effect is. Do they permanently destroy my property? If they do, I'll probably turn the game off and never play again.
No,
Is this game free? Sorry.
If it's like, yeah, it's free to play.
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, if it's anything like Clash of Clans, because I got wiped out the other day. It basically, like, they'll wipe out your entire thing. They take all the gold that you had and the stuff, and everything that you had in your reserves, and then your city or everything that you've built will just regen, and then you'll have a defense boost, or like people can't attack you for a certain amount of time after that's happened.
Right. So the buildings I have, and if I fortified them or upgraded them, that's safe. But if I had any currency, that would go.
Like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right.
Exactly
okay.
that.
So basically, spend it when you've got it. Don't try and hoard it.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. I think I can live with that. All the hard work to get my bunker up to level 5 or whatever at the moment, if that all went to waste, I'd be very upset and never want to play. But that would be quite unfair, because if you do only log in once every now and then, you know, it's not the purpose it's trying to serve then, is it? So no, that makes more sense. I like that. I'm going to give it a go a bit more. I think you guys should download it at least.
I'm going to check it out, mate.
Definitely. It's free.
Yeah.
You just play it like 20 minutes a day, or come back to it intermittently throughout the day. Give it a go. That'll be what you've been playing next week. Look.
Sweet.
Do you want? There's one more.
Go on then.
You probably know what it is, but I'm about 5 hours into Sunset Overdrive.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Right. So at this point, it's too early to call it Game of the Year or whatever. But maybe more like 10 hours in. But it's definitely going the right way.
Really?
It's the best Tony Hawk game I've ever played.
Really?
Definitely. And it's I think the thing for me, take away that the color palette is just beautiful.
Yeah, very
The whole
strong.
game looks superb. Like, you get lost in that city and then you come away from that game and everything just feels dull. Like, that game is so vibrant and so fresh, and it's doing a great job of delivering a fun, quirky story. You don't need to get lost in this like plot that makes you question what life is and stuff like that. Like, come away all spiritual. You're getting what you want out of it. It's just a nice, fun game to play. And it's really enjoyable.
It's an Insomniac game, so all I really care about is what weapon are you using right now in that game.
So you can have about, I think it's 8 weapons around your wheel at once to keep switching between. And then you can go changing when you're not fighting. But I find myself using this little acid sprayer. So you chuck down these little dolls and they spray acid, like those water things on the grass, the sprinklers.
Yeah.
It's like those, but with acid coming out of the top.
Little dolls that you throw.
I find myself the little fizzy the mascot dolls, and like the acid comes out of his head. I've got a gun which is basically cock and balls, but it shoots out like fireballs. But it's been the weapon you start with, so I've leveled it up. So I'm quite happy with that one. I'm looking. Maybe I'm thinking about getting the one that I think they've named it something about Lebowski. I think it is to do with Big Lebowski because it's bowling balls. I think that's what they've done. Can't think of the name of it. But that like strikes them all out. There's loads going on, and it's not just the guns. You upgrade them to add perks to the guns and stuff as well. So
Insomniac
Is it like
game
level
is
based?
massive.
You just go like through levels, right? Kind of like Tony Hawk's, or like dude, or how is it sort of?
it's an open world.
Okay.
It's a sandbox environment.
Okay.
The free roaming parkour aspects were daunting at first, but about 3 hours into that game, I stopped and I thought, right, rather than trying to learn a new game while doing the story, I need to come away and just mess around a bit. And I did, and since then, it's natural now. I'll run across a wall, I'll jump up, I'll grind a rail, I'll swing off a bar, I'll turn a corner on a wall. Everything, it just flows naturally now. Definitely. So if you do start playing and you get a bit lost and a bit stuck with the controls, then just come away and do a bit of free roam for a bit.
It comes on PS4. Maybe I'll pick it up.
No, it's not going to come to PS4.
Yeah, it won't. So.
It's Microsoft Studios, but I mean, the thing is, I'm at a point where, yeah, maybe I've played somewhere between 5 and 10 hours. I lose count, but I'm there to say it's a great game already, but I'm not there to say if it's a console seller and if it could be a contender for Game of the Year until I've maybe finished it. But it's got about 30 to 40 hours of gameplay with all the side quests, and then I've already paid for the season pass, so that's going to be more.
Nice.
Wow.
That's an investment right there.
Good purchase then.
I'm proud of it. It's a great purchase, and I've got the week off to play it.
Ah, okay.
Ray bloody purchase. Right, no, that's what I've been doing though. I'll give you more on it next week when if I finish it next week.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we move on to the main talking point, I just want to derail us very slightly. Have any of you seen the developer diary for Final Fantasy 15 about the
Yes.
Nope.
Yep.
Oh my god, you guys. Please, anyone listening as well, go and check that out. It's about 9 minutes, and it is just random Japanese people talking in the background. I'm assuming they're to do with the game. But it just shows you sort of like what the map is and stuff, and how you're going to be traversing. This game, it looks like freaking GTA Final Fantasy, man. Like, that's how big the area is moving around in.
Jamie would like this one.
Especially, Jamie, especially you, check out this video, because it's just an open world game. It doesn't look like Final Fantasy at all, really. It looks like a fantasy GTA. It looks awesome.
Apart from the fabulous hair.
Apart from the fabulous hair and the emo pop star looks, and the giant like monsters in the lake. But yeah, it looks amazing. Anyway, Jamie, lead us in on this talking point.
Right. Well, I touched on it briefly with not being able to get on Evolve Alpha this week for PS4, and it's something we've kind of touched on in previous weeks as well. And it got me thinking: these patches, these console updates, games being released when they're not ready, it's all causing problems for the consumer who just want to play their games. And I just want to get an idea of where you guys stand on that, because there's obviously a lot of internet rage. There's obviously a lot of people pissed off. Do we think it's right, or do we think they have to bear with it a bit more? Do we think people have to appreciate what's going on a bit more? Where do you stand? What do you think? Oh, go on, Johnny.
I was just going to say, to put it into perspective, because you've got, I haven't been on Steam in a long time, but they've got that, you can buy a game at alpha stage, is that right? Or beta stage, and you can play it with bugs and all. So you can, so they see it as early access, right?
Yeah.
So, and yeah, I mean, all right, my own experience, we've had Drive Club and FIFA very recently, both bought at launch, even though I didn't plan to. And FIFA was ultimately unplayable unless I deleted the update. Then I couldn't use it online. And Drive Club, again, they still haven't sorted out the servers. It is still broken. But what I think for me, the biggest bugbear for me is a game where you can't play it offline and it work. So take FIFA, for example. I couldn't play it because the update they had was so buggy. It's a day one update as well, that it was literally like playing on dial-up. It was ridiculous. And that's even with the internet switched off. So, and I think that's inexcusable. Especially for a game that plays offline. Now, online's a bit different because there's so many things can go wrong with servers. It's still really irritating. I mean, remember GTA last year? Was it last year?
Yep.
The servers were decimated for ages, but they finally got it sorted. But I was saying to Scott, I have a feeling we may have the same issue in a couple of weeks' time. Maybe not to the same degree, because you'd hope that they'd have enough servers now to be able to cope with demand, and the demand shouldn't be as strong as the last gen. But I still think people should be bracing themselves that they won't be able to play for the first we have a lot of issues for the first 2-3 days. I don't know. I don't think it's fair on the gamers myself. I mean, even let's take it into perspective. On a day-to-day basis, if your train is late, you can actually reclaim that fare back. But there's no way you can do that on a console. I mean, Steam have got it the right way around. The fact that you can choose to buy what may be a buggy game, which an unfinished game, but you can't do that with consoles. It comes out that day, and not everybody's in the knowledge like we are, so. A kid might ask their parents to buy it. They might buy it on the off chance, and then they get home, it doesn't work. Well, they're not expected to understand that.
The difference between Steam Greenlight and or early access games and like the actual buggy big releases are that like you buy an early access game and it very clearly states that it's an unfinished product, whereas if you go out and buy a game that has like a day one like game breaking bug that needs to be patched, like you're expecting like a working product. You're expecting to go out and buy something that's fit for purpose, like. And honestly, like the rate is probably about 50% now that it's not going to be like working properly. Like when you get it back, and I don't want to blame it on lazy devs, right? Because I feel like that's not the case. I feel like it's the deadlines that they're working to, like, are a lot stricter these days.
Partly that, and obviously games are way more complicated than what they were, a few years ago. I think that has something to do with it as well.
Yeah, you got a pushy publisher, and I'm sorry, I think the devs have got to take some brunt of it as well, to be brutally honest, because don't forget they're the ones who signed the contract to say, I want you guys to fund this and to make us more money than we would ever make if we went indie, right? And again, if it's an indie game, you can understand, but what I always come back to is you don't get these problems with Nintendo. You just don't. You don't. You may hear the one. It's not on the same scale. And I know, again, you're talking about different volumes of gamers, at the same time. But when I think back on it, one of the things that always sold Nintendo games was their seal of approval quality thing. You could pick up a Nintendo game and it wouldn't be buggy. You'd get exactly what you wanted, and you'd never get. I don't remember ever having to reset a console. That's all the way up and including the GameCube for a Mario game. I honestly could not tell you a time when I did that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking now, and I can't think of a time where I've ever done that either.
Yeah,
exactly.
Apart from just Mario Bros on the old NES, it's blown the cartridge 100 times. But
Mario Bros on the old NES?
Yeah.
Oh, of course, yeah, sorry. I had Smash Bros in my head there for a second.
Did you never play Smash Bros on the NES, Johnny?
No, I
That's
haven't.
amazing.
Completely.
It's got one character on it.
You think it's a character, or is it a pixel?
But I mean, pick up on something you were saying in there a minute ago as well, Johnny. Then you were saying that you think the idea that selling game early in these alpha stages when it's unfinished, you're okay with that? Do you think it's a good thing?
Yeah, because in fact, it's a really clever idea. Because put it this way, if there's a game that a game recently we all enjoyed, Ni no Kuni, right? Let's just say that for the sake of argument.
Yeah,
it's announced as a second one in the works. I can tell you now, I'd buy that day one. Now, what I see that as this whole alpha stage thing is, well, you're going to buy the game anyway. Do you want to test it early? And it's a discount, isn't it? I'm pretty sure. I hope I haven't made it up, but is it some sort of discount applied?
Some of them might have, man, but a lot of them don't.
Okay,
it's just it's buying in early at full price, man.
So it's a full price purchase, but you're doing it on the basis of that you're a tester, and you have that agreement a bit in the beginning. There's a whole sign, as you said, Ben, that tells you that it is not a finished game.
The problem is that you don't really know what you're buying, because what they're selling, what they sell, that like unfinished product might be nothing like what you get in the end. Their priorities could shift. The game could not even get finished and
could be cancelled.
Right.
Yeah, which has happened a lot.
Yeah, that's a good point. But then I don't see why it's necessarily a bad thing, considering the game's there, whereas Kickstarter. I mean, so I know this is quite a thing, but Kickstarter is people that's totally blind. You're going in and total trust you're putting into the developer to actually deliver this game. This is the next step.
Earlier,
is it not just charging for a demo?
Yeah,
you're charging for a demo, but I mean, most of those developers they've gone through the effort to creating this game, right? And yeah, you're always going to get the odd the bad one or two that, for whatever reason, cannot finish it. But the majority of them, I'd imagine, if they get, there may be that they've run out of funds because they're only a small studio or whatever. That, I don't see it as a problem. I see it as a great idea, because what it also does, it opens up developers to be able to have more freedom over what they create. Now, because going back to Drive Club, there's been this big thing about a lot of people have sympathy for the developers because they've been given, apparently, really short deadlines and unrealistic timescales, and that's why the free one is now delayed indefinitely. No one knows when that's coming out, and the servers are still shit. The game's not. I've had a few bugs in there, so I'm basically paying for. I've essentially paid for a game in its beta stage. But
I mean, I don't know whether
no
that's
agreement.
fair, man. I mean,
what do you mean? The online bit you couldn't play. So the whole crux of the game that they sold it on has been unusable for
the purpose of it.
Yeah, the whole point behind it, which you can't access.
No, the thing that's supposed to make that game different to others isn't there. Therefore, it's no different at the moment.
So what essentially I've done is I've spent 35 quid on PGR.
Sick game, blood. Sick game.
There may be a sick game blood, but I can get it for £2.
Yeah, I know, for the 360. Yeah, definitely.
This is what I mean. I'd rather have that agreement beforehand that says you are buying this game is not finished. Right? We are telling you now it's not finished. It's got bugs. We want you to help us iron out those bugs and maybe have some money up front to help us do that. But that's your choice. These ones, you don't have a choice. And the worst thing about Drive Club is, because it's a digital one, I can't trade it in. I can't get rid of it. So
I think there must be some allowance for like online content and online sort of, running servers and stuff. I think if, DM servers don't work on like day one, I think most people would be okay with that. Maybe give it a week, let them sort of, growing pains or whatever. But if the offline content doesn't work, I think that's when it's a big problem. Like you've shipped a game which doesn't work.
In cases like SimCity and Diablo 3, where they just straight up did not work at the beginning, you couldn't play them, that type of thing.
Yeah, I think some allowance must be made for online sort of content, because I guess it is a tricky business, and something might come up that they couldn't foresee.
I was about to go the other way.
Really?
Because I'll go back to FIFA as an example here. Like they know, or they have people that they employ to look at numbers of how many copies they think they're going to sell. Why are the servers not ready for that amount of people?
I don't see. I think that's simplifying a bit too much. I don't think it's the servers can't handle it or something like that. Like, it's extremely technical. Like, I'm sure there are other things that can go wrong, not just the pipes aren't big enough.
That's what happened with Grand Theft Auto, though. Too many people were trying to play on day one.
Yeah, and I'm sure but the way that they resolved it, I don't think they just let's just get more servers. I'm sure there's some other way that they can get around it. I think online content is a bit different from your the offline stuff, which should work on day one. I think I would definitely allow maybe a week for like gamers for the Karen.
I'm gonna contradict myself here. I'm gonna join Jamie on this.
Contradict yourself.
How many times have we been? How many times can they use the servers as an excuse?
Well, if it's an online problem, I mean, I just think maybe just if there's an online game, don't buy it straight away.
Yeah, but hang on. That's all well and good for those in the know, but going back to my example of, all right, taking it away from FIFA, let's say Drive Club. Parents have bought their kid a game online. They say, it's 35 quid. That's cheap for a PS4 game. I'm going to buy it. And then it doesn't work. I mean, that...
Can you play that game offline?
You can.
It's vanilla, isn't it? It's very vanilla for that.
Yeah.
But ignoring that, the point is I don't know how. I don't think it's fair that the gamers ultimately, who are the ones that are keeping them in business, because let's take Assassin's Creed. How buggy are some of their games, and yet they never even get fixed, and yet they've shipped what's essentially a broken game.
I mean, they do update their games to try and patch stuff out, but the problem is sometimes when you patch something out, a new bug will arise. Sometimes it's a matter of living with a bug that might happen.
All right,
some
this
point.
is going to really
the Skyrim curse there.
Yeah,
But I'm really going to simplify this here. But if you're a coder, that's your job. If you're a good coder, you'll get to the bottom of it. If you've got a good coding team, you'll get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, just oversimplifying things again. I don't think it's that simple. Like you should have to squash every bug. I think when you change code, I'm sure it's highly technical, but when you try and fix something else unrelated can happen. So you can't really.
But what this says to me then is that these developers aren't ready to go to the extremes that they're going to at the moment. And they should really actually be taking a leaf out of Nintendo's book and going, well, hang on, they're still creating fantastic games that run smoothly and don't have bugs, and they're making money out of it still. Whereas, granted, they're still making money at this stage, but at what point do gamers start going, do you know what, fuck this, I'm not dealing with all this crap. You know, the biggest hype for a game is in the first week. That's where all their money is made. Now, if we all sat there and go, screw this, they took too long to sort out GTA last year, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying the HD one. You know, that's the sort. Actually, now I think about it, with these HD remixes coming out very regularly now, it's even more important for them to get this sorted. I just don't see it as an excuse to go, sorry, servers don't work, or sorry, there's a clash detection issue there. You know,
I think the HD remake stuff will die off in the next 6 months, though, because it was just while the consoles were transferring over, really, isn't it, for another chance to make more money? But but no, it's then Grand Theft Auto again as an example. I played it on PS3, and I do want to still play it, but you know, I want to move forward. So very close to it.
Last year, yeah, because we couldn't get online, so we couldn't play. And then by the time we did play online, my PS3 died after about 3 games, so I couldn't play it. So I had to trade it back in. It's really frustrating, and I'm still going to buy it first because I'm a massive hypocrite. I understand. I'm a massive hypocrite, but
it's all going to come on a case-by-case situation. I think the problem we've got now is that more and more games are focusing on online play, and so more and more games need to be ready for them the best they can. And you will have problems. And like you say, if it's in the campaign, hopefully they can patch things out quickly. Just a little apology. We didn't see that in testing phase. These things will still happen. They can't see everything, I suppose. But once the millions of people who consume a game are playing it, then you're going to find things that they didn't find in testing stages. But
this is exactly the thing, though, right? If you've got a game that is going to be predominantly based on online, it's focused on online, right? You need to fucking beta test that game online. You need a proper, not a week before the game comes out, oh, here's an online demo that we're going to call a beta. A proper fucking beta that lasts a few weeks, a good few months before the game comes out, so that you get feedback, you can see like what sort of strain it puts on the servers, and make sure that you've got more, like, fucking go overboard on the servers. Get more server space than you physically think that you're going to need. Like, if your wildest dreams come true and you fucking move 11 million copies day one, like, have enough server space to, like, fulfill all of those people, and then just deactivate the stuff that you don't need once you're done.
You know, you've just touched on a very good point there, and it works so well with Final Fantasy XIV. So well. They did 2 early access beta stages, and your character got wiped after the first, or was it 3?
I think there was 3 phases. The third phase, your character could move over. The first 2, he couldn't.
Right, so you could play the shit out of that game for the first 2 weeks that it was out. And I think there was one in April, one in June-ish, and then one at the end of August just before it came out, or something like that. And it worked so well, and I was involved in all 3, and I have to admit, now I look back on it on launch, I don't think there was any issues.
Well, there was some overcrowding on Popular Worlds, but it only amounted to like server queues of maybe a few minutes. You would only queue for like a minute or so to get into the world. Like, the traffic was fairly consistent, but they never had any like major, like, the worlds are full, like nobody can play the game type thing. Yeah, and that's this is what they need to do. I mean, take Destiny as well. If they couldn't access online for a week or 2. What's the point in the game? You've bought a game, you just can't fulfill its purpose. Well, you straight up could not play Destiny because you have to be connected online to even play single player. So if that ever went down, Destiny would be screwed.
That'd be a problem.
Yeah.
That's what I'm just saying. More and more games now going forward rely on that online element, which is fair enough, especially for us in the UK where internet connections are actually quite good compared to the cardboard internet in America. But
speak for yourself.
Well, yeah, I mean, Danny is a bit of an extreme case there. I personally am very focused still on single player games. It's always my way. It's just games like FIFA will come up, and I enjoy playing that online. Now, if you're a massive FIFA fan, you have every right to go out and buy that the day it launches. You've paid your money. If you book a day off work and you make a special occasion of that and you come home and that's not working, I think you've got the right to be a bit devastated by that. You know, you are paying for a product for the day it's released. You shouldn't have to. Johnny was saying you should maybe wait a week or so. Well, if that's the release date, you shouldn't have to because they've made a promise by putting that game on the shelf that day. That's the problem. So, I mean, that's another topic for another day about fucking release dates then. But, I mean, you know, put it on the shelf when it's ready. That's the problem. I think I'd rather be happier knowing that a game had to be delayed because of problems.
Well,
We've had that a lot as well.
This is the way it always used to be as well. You step back 2 generations, back to the PlayStation 2 and stuff. There were no, like, after release updates and stuff. The product you bought was what you had, right? Mm-hmm. And I guarantee you, back then, there was far less, like, oh, the game's come out, but there's a game-breaking bug in it. Like, that didn't happen that often. Like, I didn't hear of that happening that often back then.
Imagine all the units being recorded. Jesus.
It's going to sound a bit of a cop-out, but I think it's the rise in social media as well that exaggerates everything to the nth degree. You know, like back in the day, if something got delayed, oh right, okay. You know, it wasn't uncommon for a game to be delayed for a year and barely anyone batted an eyelid, or they'll just be like, oh, that's a bit of a shame. But now it's like, oh, if it's delayed a year, then that's it. You know, they say it's all sorts of problems, and I don't know. It's a real weird thing. I mean, I'm in the camp of, yeah, all right, I'll be disappointed, but if the game works and released, then bring it on. Mm-hmm. You know, if I'm paying 60 quid for a game, I want it to work every single day. I don't care if it, you know, in the grand scheme of things, we're talking about a very small part of the game's life, right? I mean, if you own a game for a year and you're talking about a week or two, you know, in Final Fantasy terms, that's 120 hours of gameplay you've got, and you know. It's a very minute period, but it's still extremely frustrating. And you're just thinking, well, if you did that in your job, you'd probably be fired if you handed in something that wasn't ready.
Yeah,
and you tried passing it off as something that's complete, and you know, you wouldn't buy a car with 3 wheels, would you? So.
Well, unless it was like...
depending on the model, yeah.
Like, you can sit in it. It all looks nice. It should have 4 wheels, but the other one's on order.
But no,
the other one's DLC.
I think we're going to be a bit stuck and a bit torn on that one, then, really, aren't we? Depending on what sort of games we ideally play. Yeah, if you are an online enthusiast, then you're going to be fuming if that's wrong. And
that's true.
You know, if you're a single player gamer and your game's full of bugs, then you're going to be fucked off with that. But no, ideally something like FIFA, I just wanted that to be ready. Very disappointed last year about Grand Theft Auto, but I mean, what's the message going forward? Because it's not just software; it's the updates on the consoles themselves as well. So something's got to be done. What's got to be done?
Yeah, I mean, even like with iPhones and like you know, updates for that will start sending software going haywire. I think it's just the future we live in now. Like all these things are updated. You know, things can go wrong. I'm sure they test it loads, but stuff goes wrong.
I think John is spot on, man. I think like we can complain as much as we like, right? But like things aren't going to change. Like we're not ever going to get to a situation where things launch and are perfect ever again, just purely like due to the way things are delivered now, because like post-launch patches are an option and are always going to be an option going forwards. It's always going to be something that they'll use. So if there are sort of non-game breaking glitches, but glitches that they know are there, they'll settle for patching them post-launch, and that is just the way it's going to be. Like So get used to it, basically.
Yeah, it is literally one of those things that, nothing. I don't think anything's ever going to get sorted with it because they've already made the money, and that's the problem. So unless there's a real massive fuck up, like we're talking SimCity fuck up, and you destroy gamers' confidence, they're still going to be making the money and pumping out the profit. So there's very little in that the gamers can do apart from just, don't know. they just want to play the games they love at the end of the day. And
Final Fantasy 15 better fucking work.
There you go. That's how we'll
Johnny
leave that
means
one. But no, I think it's fair to say we're all very passionate about our games and we just want to be able to play them. We're not going to go around their houses with pitchforks if the games aren't working. But as long as they're putting in... Well, are you? I don't know. Just make sure they're putting in the effort. That's all we ask. Because if they give 100%, that's all we can ever ask of somebody.
Oh.
If the online multiplayer doesn't work, please start including offline co-op again. That'd be nice.
How's co-op?
So I could go around one of your guys' house and still play.
Well, now there's this, the share play on the PS4. That's pretty good.
So make sure that works as well.
Yeah.
Jamie, hit us up with the flash news, man. Let's do this.
Some little brief bits. Let's get this in, right? So, Prey 2's been cancelled after 6 years in development. Who saw that coming?
I mean,
Everyone.
It's disappointing, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Well, yeah. We saw the trailer in, April 2012 now? Just 2.5 years ago.
Too good to be true, though, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah.
I felt like it was going to be the Boba Fett game I always wanted. And then it never happens now. But never mind. Bethesda, we do trust you. And you don't even Star Trek, man.
I mean, the most disappointing thing is, right, everyone knew that the game was never going to be like that trailer, right?
Yeah.
But when we heard that, like, after... oh, shit, I forgot the name of the game now. I literally was just talking about it. Dishonored. After Dishonored came out and, like, got favourable reviews from everyone, when the news came out that the team behind Dishonored were going to be moving on to work on Prey 2, I think I got even more excited that, like, even if they weren't going to get that trailer, like, the Dishonored guys would do a good job with it. But... I don't know, man. I am disappointed.
The Dishonored trumpet as well, though. I will blow that Dishonored trumpet again and again. It's a brilliant game. It is a brilliant game. But yeah, it's the best version of FIFA I've ever played.
If you haven't played Dishonored, by the way, look for it in the Steam sale this Christmas. It'll probably be about £2.99 or something. Definitely worth picking up.
Probably cost you £1 on a packet of Skittles. Going back to quality seals and Nintendo being awesome, then look, they've moved the Smash Bros. Release date forward another week. There you go. Look, they set themselves a buffer.
Amazing,
and they knew they were going to be ready in time, and they brought it forward.
It never happens, does it?
So the game has been brought forward. The game with the pad has been brought forward. But if you wanted the one where you get the amiibo Mario in the box, for some reason that's still December 5th. That's probably production issues. If you still want those amiibos, just don't.
Yeah.
Go look at some images now that have leaked of the ones that are in the production line. They are shocking. I've cancelled all my pre-orders for them because they're just disgusting.
I think the production quality's dropped, significantly, haven't they?
From those test models to what you get now.
Have you seen Marth's sword?
Yeah.
It's like all bent and curved and stuff, man. It's awful.
Doesn't it?
Really?
Yeah, man. It looks dreadful. Really, like, poor quality plastic being used.
Where can I see these pictures?
They're all online. You can find
These
comparisons.
photographs.
You can
Probably
find
some well-known gaming website somewhere.
Yeah, there's comparisons between, like, the model that they displayed when they announced them, like the prototype, compared to the production model. And oh my god, the production models just look awful. So bad.
So upsetting.
Yeah, so they're cancelled. I might still pick up the game this year if I can afford it, but we'll see.
No.
3DS version has left me feeling a bit wounded at the moment.
To be honest, I'm a bit pissed off that it's not like that it's coming out sooner. That's awesome. But now it's sharing the same day as Dragon Age Inquisition. And
no, that's the week before, isn't it?
Dragon Age Inquisition, I'm fairly sure it's the same day, man.
I'll have a look. We'll talk about that off air.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, you ruined his rant. Oh, he's getting right in the flow.
Were you going to rant, were you?
I was just saying that, like, as much as I want to play Smash Bros, like, I've been waiting for Dragon Age Inquisition, like, way more. So it's gonna be sat on the back burner until I finish Dragon Age. So
it might be picked up in the new year, definitely. But that's just because November's so busy. There is so much going on in the next couple of weeks.
There is.
But I chirp that one every week. But we've been doing the FIFA so that we get a bit of practice ready for Grand Theft Auto. That's what it's been. Definitely. Right. Anyway, sidetracked. Ubisoft. They announced in their figures that Watch Dogs has sold 9 million copies so far.
Great.
That's amazing.
That's impressive enough. They're aiming to sell, in the first year on the market, they're aiming to sell 6 million copies of Far Cry 4 and 2 million copies of The Crew. I think the 2 million copies of The Crew in a year on sale, yeah. I think 2 million copies of The Crew might just about be there.
Yep.
But I could see Far Cry selling more than 6 million in a year.
Yeah,
That seems realistic. Wasn't it EA? It was like, we need to get 5 million of Dead Space 3 on week 1 or something really ridiculous like that.
Week 1,
Six million on week 1 to break even, I think it was.
Yeah, that's what they said. So this seems like realistic goals.
6 million for a year on what could end up, because Far Cry 3, I didn't play at launch. I played later on, and fantastic game.
Brilliant game. I
Blew
love
me
it.
away. So much going on. I've got high hopes for Far Cry 4. Definitely. But yeah, I mean, did the other guys there? Did you play Far Cry 3?
No, still haven't played it.
Shame.
PS3 died just as I was about to play it.
Oh, and it went on PlayStation Plus as well, didn't it?
Yeah, I got it, and then it died.
Fucking
Livid.
I just never got around to it, man. It looked really good. All the stuff that I've seen for it looks really good, but I just never got around to playing it. I will.
It's so satisfying, like playing it stealthily. Sorry, Ben, carry on.
No, it's cool. I was just going to say, if you guys are picking up Far Cry 4 and you fancy playing some like online and stuff, I'll definitely pick it up. So.
It has co-op, right?
Share play,
Online co-op.
Yeah.
Online co-op.
I'm sure there is. Yeah, you can do. All I see is the share play stuff, but no, I'm sure there is a proper one.
Well, Far Cry 4 was also the first game to announce that like you could send like a copy to your friend, right, and then get them to play with you for an amount of time, even if they don't have the game.
It's like 20 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, that's something. We'll see. I've got it ordered. We'll see. We'll play it. I'll be the only one who picks it up now. Last thing this week, just briefly then actually, but Nintendo have announced their first quality of life product. So this was the thing earlier in the year when Iwata had that thing for the shareholders, and he announced they were going to do quality of life products, with the idea being that it had to meet 5 criteria: non-wearable, non-contact, non-operating, and non-weighting and non-installation. Right? So with those 5 criteria in mind, the first thing they're doing is a sleep monitor.
Just what are they thinking? Really?
I don't know.
They can watch you sleep.
Here we go. It's going to use a bedside device that uses radio frequencies to monitor sleeping patterns before sending the data to the cloud. It will then offer advice to improve sleeping patterns, such as exercise or diet alterations. I'll tell you what, if it picks up that I'm not sleeping, it's because I'm fucking worried about how much money I've just blown on a piece of shit from Nintendo. Like, you know, that's the problem. What are they doing? I don't know. Maybe something will come good from this quality of life. And I get that they want to help people that would be associated with just sitting on the couch and doing nothing. They tried it with the Wii and it sold well. They've stepped away from that motion control with the Wii U. But maybe they're just trying to do it in its own body and just see. I mean, let them try it, but I don't need a sleep monitor because 9 out of 10 smartphones will do something like that nowadays, won't they?
Yeah, it's a bit silly.
So, I mean, I just don't. It's not what I want from it. I don't know what you guys would want from Nintendo if they stepped outside of gaming. Maybe go back to washing machines.
No, just stick to gaming. Like sometimes I think that like Nintendo HQ is just like a fucking Willy Wonka's factory with all kinds of bollocks going on. Who thought a sleep monitor was a good idea? Jesus Christ!
Hang on. This is Nintendo. They've always had these ridiculous ideas, and yet they still end up like they're still going.
This is completely gaming unrelated, though. This isn't like a peripheral for one of their consoles. This is a literal Nintendo brand sleep monitor. Like, what the fuck is that?
Don't forget, this is a company that started off as a trading card company. And so even what they're doing now is totally far removed to what they were doing.
I think they're just doing this to propitiate, investors, aren't they? Really?
I think all they needed to do though was go, "You want some money? All right, let's put the original Pokemon games on an iPhone.
Yep.
Let's let them do that. Sell that for £2 a pop.
Yeah, they
We'll
really
make
should.
shit tons of money.
They really would.
But we're not in charge at Nintendo.
No.
That's the problem.
Plus, Nintendo, man, they're so strict on their IPs. There's no way that like you're going to see Pokemon or Mario come over to iOS, even if it would literally print money for them.
It would quite literally.
Yeah, but surely the only thing that's printing them money is the fact that it's all on one system. In order to play a Mario game, you have to buy a Nintendo console. You don't have a choice about it.
They're starting to do it now, actually. They've released a Pokemon app for the Apple, for iPad and stuff, I think.
It's the card game one, isn't it? Or something?
No, there's actually another one, like something like Pokemon Island or something. There's like an app. I think you buy that, and it's just like, it's basically like 5 simple like sort of mini games, and you collect sort of Pokemon like stickers and like little like badges sort of thing. Okay. So I think they're starting. So yeah, that's out now.
This is a bit like Square Enix, isn't it? I mean, they've done a couple of games for the mobile devices, but
Square Enix. In Final Fantasy or the Bravest.
Oh my god!
Bravest. Jesus Christ! What a pile of shit.
Yeah, but what I mean is that there's, if I guess what they're doing is
we will see Mario on the iStore. I think they will at some point.
No, not official. No way.
Not like a Mario game, but like a Mario themed app.
I think we're a long way from that, and I think the reason
already.
You guys do realize how much money Nintendo have as cash reserves, right?
Yeah, but I'm not talking. Yeah, I know they're minted, but I'm not talking like a Mario game. I'm like just saying like an app, sort of that you buy and have like some sort of Mario stuff on it.
Farmville, Mushroom Kingdom.
People would buy it.
Yeah,
people would do it definitely.
Clash of Mushroom Kingdoms. But yeah, I think when Janny mentioned the hardware part of this thing as well, that's something to maybe factor in, because they were asked. There's something I saw recently as well. Why isn't the new 3DS hitting the Western market this year? And the answer they gave was, we don't think the 3DS has made its potential there yet. Which basically transfers to, we're going to get you all to buy a 3DS, make sure you've all got one, and then you're going to buy a new 3DS. That sums it up. I think that's where they see their market right now. That's how they want to treat us. But no, I'll buy. Fuck it, fuck them. Fuck them.
Just quit gaming.
Stop me from gaming, man. I've got to fucking buy more hardware, and it won't even work on day one.
Oh. Has anyone else got anything else to add? I think we've run our course here.
We've done it.
We've done it. All right. Well, thanks for joining me, guys. It's always nice to.
Thank you.
Nice to get us all together. Thanks to everyone. Thanks to everyone for listening. We love doing this, so as long as you keep listening to us, we'll keep making them. If you want to get in contact with us, you can follow us on Twitter. Thanks for laughing, Jenny. You're making this so much easier for me.
I'll just keep showing up, and they just keep on paying me.
You say it like we're doing it because of people who are actually listening to us.
hey, I've seen those listens.
I think even the people who, I'm pretty sure the people who do listen to us probably get about half an hour in and go, I got better things to do in my life.
Just take a look at the analytics on Podbean, man. It's way better than it was on YouTube.
Shout out to the Podbean, and not to toot anything here, but I'm enjoying the fact that in the last 10 days we've had more hits on Podbean than we would get in 3 months on YouTube. So,
wow,
the power of the audio podcast doing what it's supposed to do.
Yeah,
I think you're going to have a taste of stroke there for a second, but good effort. Let's wrap this up before we insult someone.
Cool. Well,
ended.
We are on Twitter at gsc_games. You can find us on Facebook at gsc games. Individual Twitter tags will be down in the description, and we will see everyone next time.
If there is a next time.
If there is a next time. Dun dun dun. Bye.
Bye.
There is a next time. Don't worry.
Continue. Nice.
It's alright. The ending
Well, no,
was-
see, that was supposed to be the Street Fighter Continue music, but it ended up
Oh.
being Mega Man, didn't it?
Not a Mega Man, yeah. Oops.
It was supposed to be the Street Fighter.
Supposed to leave all this in. We don't know when the end is. It might end
shit.
at some point.
There is no end.
There is
It's a
no
never
end.
Never ending
End it with end it with Guile's music.
Don't even fucking.
Cut to Guile music.